I've been a bitch for my whole life. I bought burners, I ain't buy lights. Now a little old me getting money, got everybody all tight. These bitches back, bitches hard. Bitches me, I disregard. Bet you if I had a dick, these bitches couldn't get it hard. Guess summertime is almost up, so them bitches wish. All these hoes looking old, all these bitches wish dicks. Put it ribbon on my box, cause it's pussy gifted. I ain't got no free time when my shit is fixed. In my room, I watch my chain and everything is lit. Niggas cold on a bitch, I feel like I'm slick. If they love me or they hate me, it don't make no difference.
You know what it do?
Kill a hoe.
Bought a rich meal, I could've bought me a house, no joke. Feel like I'm the greatest rapper out of the South, no smoke. She tryna fuck, I told her top me for now. Oh God, she got ass shots, I told her work on her mouth. Straight out. Everybody talking this key talk, nigga, we shoot shit up, one battle. She call out, nigga, you ain't getting no money, we don't give a fuck about your talents. She came from the bottom of my multi-millionaire, I was just sleeping on planets. Both of you rappers on 4 gang, we got it. Young bitch got that crazy head, like a Kanye tweet. Had a wedding for my Glocks, call him J and B. I split the rent with my chopper, cause it stay with me. Leave you drunk like a shot of liquor, ain't no chasing me. He doing a white flag, but I still won't be stupid. Catch you at your album release, you play with Cardi B. Make this pistol blow both ways, I call it Hennessy. I know your mama taught you look both ways.
They say my time is almost up, so them bitches wish. All these hoes looking old, all these bitches wish dicks. Put a ribbon on my box, cause it's pussy gifted. I ain't got no free time when my shit is fixed. In my room, I watch my chain and everything is lit. Niggas cold on a bitch, I feel like I'm slick. If they love me or they hate me, it don't make no difference. It be hard not to kill a hoe.
We the best music.
What's that on your wrist?
I call it a chandelier. What it do, folks? What it is? Good morning to you. It's your boy Doodie Outlaw, and you're now plugged in with Doodie, Rocky, and Nito on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Plugged in with Doodie is powered by Copacetic Designs and sponsored by Troubadour Entertainment Incorporated. Man, what's the word with you folks out there today, man? It is a beautiful morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I want to give a very special shout out to everybody that's listening in on 22.3 TakeoverVegasRadio.com. Everybody that's listening in on the 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio app, the YouTube, the Up Live, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Music, TuneIn, Nordbex, MyTuner, MixLR, all the streaming platforms. We appreciate you guys getting up early and plugging in with us. I hope you guys have already felt the grooves and the moves. And if you know anything about Plugged In with Doodie Outlaw, you know that Wednesdays is the fun day of the week because we in the building. Rocky!
Good morning.
Top of the damn morning to you.
Yeah, it is. It's hot. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to be here, Doodie. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. I'm just happy to be here. Man, shout out to you, 40, man. I'll be honest with you guys, man. The joy of my day is being able to be here with you guys on Plugged In on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. But I will not lie to you guys. It's always more fun when the homies can have some, man. So shout out to my girl Rocky for making it this morning, man. If y'all didn't know, Rocky's a hardworking woman, not just because she's a single mom, not just because she's a boss or anything like that, just because that's what people have to do to maintain and make it right now in 2020, man. Me and my girl, we work very hard every day to make sure that we're on the grind, and we don't really look at good times, bad times. We look at how much work and how much progress we get done, but sometimes we got to take a step back. Mm-hmm. So, Rocky, how are you feeling this morning? I know you've had probably a long work week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Coming up on your weekend, man. Tell the people how you feel.
I'm feeling good. I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here. You know, like I've always said, I ask for a lot on my plate, and I want to eat. So
you eating?
I'm eating.
Wow.
You know, sometimes I gotta take a break. Make sure I can get it all in. But yes. I am eating, and I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here. I definitely look forward to this. It's a whole vibe in itself, and I appreciate everybody that tunes in with us and turns up, and fills us a little bit, adds a little flavor to it. I definitely appreciate that.
No doubt, man. I want to shout out my guy Nito, man. I know he's not too far from us, man. I've seen him pop in through the YouTube feed. I've seen him pop in through the Up Live feed. Man, I love social media. I love technology, man. Just all these damn devices around here, man. It's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phones going, and cameras and GoPros and computers and all that. and it's necessary to do all this to make sure we can reach as many people as possible. But I promise y'all, man, we make it look a lot easier than it damn is, man. But all that being said, man, it is a pleasure to put in the work to be able to reach out and touch you guys. What's up, Lulu? Good morning to you. Shout out to everybody, man, that plugs in with us on a daily basis. I'm looking forward to hearing Big Nito today, man, when he has a chance to tap in. A lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of stuff going on in the news, a lot of stuff going on just in general, I'm sure, in everybody's personal life, and and all those type of things. But hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like I'm in a real bitching mood today. You know what I'm saying? Be bitching about a whole bunch of stuff, but I am here to be supportive. If you got anything you want to bitch about this morning, you know what I'm saying? You let me know.
No, I would just prefer a conversation.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, let me holler at the peoples. If y'all got something that y'all want to talk about, or y'all want to bitch about, or you know what I'm saying, you want to give a shout out, or you got something on your mind, a question you might want answered, hit us up, 702-412-5870. Our phone lines are always open to you. You can call us up, you can text us at 702-412-5870. You can hit us up. We do take international calls. If you have a question that you want to hit us up on Facebook, no worries. We got somebody, man, in the field. We'll make sure we answer those questions. If you got a request, please hit us up, man. We love the interaction, and we love being able to talk to you guys, man. So don't be shy. Plug in with us and say hi. That being said, Raquel.
What's up?
I'm sitting here, and our president is acting a damn fool. And I don't like to entertain. I've been trying to ignore his ass.
I was gonna say I don't even pay that man no mind.
I've been trying to ignore his motherfucking ass. Excuse my language this morning, man. When we get to talking about our country and things like that, I'll be honest with y'all. I get plenty, passionate about it because some of this stuff is just outrageous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so excuse my language earlier this morning, man, but that's just how it be making me feel. But man, I saw our interview. I was up early for prayer this morning, and I saw our interview that Donald Trump did with HBO. And it was one of the most confrontational interviews I've ever seen of an American president.
Okay.
Like the contempt that people have, for the position. We didn't start with Donald Trump. I'll be honest. Right. We know how people looked at Obama because he was a black man, and we know the politics of, the partisan, how Republicans and Democrats look at each other. But looking at this man, I'm embarrassed for him. And to say that is almost obnoxious, right? But I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed that this dude would actually think that he was qualified.
That's the type of embarrassed where you can't even watch the whole thing. It's like, oh no, somebody's looking like you. If you put it away, nobody else can see it.
I'm just saying, like I'm sitting here and like I wasn't interested in watching it or anything like that. I didn't know it was home, but I saw a preview for it and it said it looked like a parody, like it looked like something off of Mad TV or something. And I'm like, man, they bullshit, man. There's no way the president's people will put him up there and look like a damn fool. And this dude, man. Every day, man, he definitely surprises me.
Yeah,
he definitely can find a new level to get to every time to make himself look like this a whole ass.
Man.
If you guys didn't know, the president's election team is suing the state of Nevada because Nevada decided that we're going to do all mail-in ballots. And here's the thing. Are we
the only state that decided that?
No, we're not the only state, but here's the thing. We are one of the most important states when it comes to the West Coast. And everybody knows the power that California has or doesn't have with the Electoral College. But since I've lived here in Vegas has switched. Yeah. So at first, we know the majority of the population of Nevada lives here in Clark County, down here. Mm-hmm. But when I first came here, that's not how the vote worked. Right. So people in Northern Nevada had a lot more power than they should have had. So when they corrected that, Nevada became a democratic state. Right. And so the Republicans, even though they have a lot of pull in the state, even though they have a lot of influence and they have a lot of leaders in different positions, when it comes to the presidential vote, outside of John Kerry a few years ago, quite a few years ago, this place been voted Democrat. Mm-hmm. And Trump knows that he needs the benefit of not just all the voters. He needs the benefit of everything possible to try to win this election.
So sue Nevada, but you need to piss Nevada off.
No, it's not even just that. Right now, it's just him setting up for what he really wants to do, which is cancel the election. Now, contrary to what you guys are hearing in the news and stuff, Doodie predicted that shit a year ago.
Right.
Doodie predicted that Donald Trump would find any way possible to try to cancel this election because he really wants to win. But he knows that he can't. He's not going to win the popular vote. And right now, the Electoral College, and if you haven't been paying attention to what's been going on with the Electoral College and the rulings in the Supreme Court. Please do a little research and look into it. But it's about to be a face-off. We're about to have an election face-off, and a lot of people are predicting a possible civil war, and the temperature is crazy for it. But when you're dealing with the stupidity of Donald Trump in the White House, when you're dealing with the influence that he has over middle white America, who don't look at justice the same as we do out here in the city, who don't look at reality as we do, we got a problem on our hands. Mm-hmm. And that little lawsuit might not seem like a big deal to y'all, but like I say, it's setting precedents right now for our president to basically just strong arm this damn election.
I hope everybody had their coffee. We heard what Doodie plugged us in with this morning.
Look, I've been up early, y'all, and I promise y'all, man, I'm saying this in all due respect for the people out there that maybe don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out there. There's so much going on in our lives. It's hard to keep up with everything. It's hard to be aware of everything that's going on. But yes, Donald Trump last week threatened to cancel the whole election. Right? Mm-hmm. So, this isn't just a Republican Democrat thing.
But see, what's crazy to me is, as I'm scrolling through social media, like you said, people don't pay attention, don't have time. So really, I'm just scrolling through Facebook, whatever pops up on this Apple News or whatnot. And the only thing I see about him canceling his TikTok, I had no knowledge of this. So you guys are going to take the distraction. He's going to ban TikTok, guys. But he's banning TikTok.
And see, that's a whole other little situation. And we can talk about that too. But that's exactly it. Mm-hmm. When people talk about distraction, we talk about how the media works and propaganda. Whether they're telling the truth or not is one thing. That's a whole different issue than what they put at the front of the news. Right. When we know that our Facebook, our social media, all of them, social media is fed to us a certain way. Mm-hmm. They use analytics. They use an algorithm to determine what they should show us. That's why you don't see half the stuff that is going on, because they don't want you to see it. They're steering you in another direction, right? But it's on us to make ourselves aware. It is the hardest thing in the world, y'all, to make it through 24 hours in my day, because my anxiety goes crazy of all the things that I want to try to get done. Mm-hmm. I want to get information about this. I want to sit down and watch this documentary. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. I want to make sure I'm taking care of my girl. I need to check on my kids. I need to check on my money. I need all these things. But in the end, we have to prioritize. We have to actually take ourselves out of ourselves and look into things that maybe don't seem like they even matter to us, but figure out how this stuff works together. We're looking at COVID-19 on a national scale and a local scale. We're not looking at it at a global scale, right? When we're looking at the stimulus package that we're waiting on our government to pass, we're looking at it at a local scale, and people are feeling some type of way. But if you look at it on a global scale, you actually realize what these other countries that have been successful are doing and what they've done for their citizens. Yeah, we look like a bunch of jackasses right now. Our country looks retarded. And I'm saying that with no hesitation. And when I say that word retarded, I'm not using it as a slur. So if anybody feels some type of way about it, I'm using it in the true definition of the word. Look up the word retarded and look up and then compare it to what America is doing. And we are going the complete opposite of what we are known to be. Right. Not what we are, but what we're known to be. So the perception and the veil is being lifted.
It's exactly, you said the veil is being lifted. What we're known to be, what we give people, and the perception that we want people to receive.
Yes.
Now there's no hiding that. It is what it is.
No, everybody knows now.
The pressure's been applied, and look.
We are a murderous, rambling, lame ass country right now. And right now we can't even take care of our own people. We can't even make sure that we're gonna have a fair and just election. That's what we're supposed to be known for. We go to other countries to make sure that they got democracy, but we can't guarantee our own damn democracy. Hey. It's a cold world. It is. Speaking of TikTok, so I'm trying to get into TikTok.
Okay.
Matter of fact, shout out to anybody out there that can help you boys figure out how to work. I set up a page. I ain't never put nothing on it. I never watched it.
It's not hard. I made like a couple little random ones. It's like you gotta line yourself up. Like you will really probably irritate a household trying to make a TikTok, because you gotta keep replaying the sound to make sure you get it right. Okay. And then you stop and pause. Like my little sister taught me. She's 14. That's all she does.
Very repetitive.
Yes, it's repetitive. So you have to line it up. But you know what? It's some older people on there that's getting it.
I ain't saying that this person is an older person, but shout out to DJ Bad Girl who been putting me on. DJ Bad putting me out there like,
I
yo,
need
you
to
need to
follow
get
you.
TikTok. You need to get TikTok. I've been messing with Uplive. Shout out to
Okay.
Uplive. It's really my thing. You got to call her. Hold on 1 second. Caller, you on? What's the word?
What's good with it? What is big stuff, man? I'm checking in with you.
Big Nito, the boss, man. What's the
Good
word with you,
morning.
champion? Top of the morning to you.
Good morning, man. I'm just macking and hanging, man. I'm just trying to do what y'all doing. I tapped in on your conversation right when I was thinking about what would I say if I was there, talking about the perception situation. You're talking a bit of a more on a grand scale, but yesterday I put out a Facebook post that tore up some lives yesterday.
So tell up some lies.
This is a motherfucker. How you doing over there, Rocky?
I'm good. How are you? Why you sliding in like that? Like, are you still in the bed? What you got going on? Why you slide in like that? You just slid in all smooth and stuff. This is Big Nito.
Oh man,
Like he was on silk sheets.
Right.
That's how my morning starts, real smooth.
Smooth like peanut butter, man.
That's it, hot peanut butter. Ain't smoother than that.
Ooh, wait. Man. No, I hear you, bro. Perception is real. I saw that post you're talking about, man, and it was definitely the top of my hilarity.
Look.
Go ahead, Nito.
Oh, okay. I my bad. I was gonna say, if anything, man, this is a perfect time if we want to talk about distraction and perception. You know what I mean? And the whole presidential situation. This is a perfect time for us as a people, though, to start focusing on ourselves. And because we already, like I told you before, we woke and we already know about the distraction, and we see what the distraction is and the game is. And we need to play the game accordingly and not pay no attention to that distraction and stay focused on what we got going on in front of us, which is the betterment of our people right now. We need to go ahead and focus on what we got going on and within our own circle, so everybody else can stay distracted. So when that distraction passes, we'll be already 50 yards down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got a question, and this is about perception as well. So let me ask you, Big Nito. The perception is right now that we can fix all this shit with the election. You think that's true? That we can fix all the issues that's going on in this upcoming election, right? We can fix the issue with our president. We can fix the issue in our Congress, and we can fix the issue in our states and our cities. Do you believe in your heart that that's actually what's the corrector? That's actually the thing that's going to make everything right?
No. That's right there. That's a facade. If you think you can fix everything within one election or within a certain time frame, you know what I mean.
But why do people feel? Why right now is everybody in a fever about this damn election when we know that it's rigged? When we know it's a game? When we know that Russia came in to our last election, China came into our last election, and basically just made us look like kids. Just basically ran through our shit. Now we in a situation where we coming up on an election expecting that to be the problem solver. And my perception is a little different than what I'm seeing and I'm hearing from everybody else. So that's kind of the reason why I'm asking, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm not the one standing outside like being a damn rebel about it. You know what I'm saying? I know my vote counts in certain ways, but like, is this a solution?
Right. Well, I think in my eyes, I would say the solution is, well, first we need to think about it like this. Us trying to explain the difference between the elections and what's going on and who's right and who's wrong. It's pretty much like a parent trying to explain to their kid that wrestling is fake. You know what I mean? Like when we get into wrestling, when you're a kid, you're like, oh man, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, everybody junkyard dog, they kick ass, woo, 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 woo. That gotta be real. That gotta be real. And then you be fighting your parents, and they be like, nah, listen, check this out, man. That's scripted. You know what I mean? That's some shit that and that you fight your parents on it. Oh no, it gotta be real. Did you see that? He's bleeding now. Look, he's bleeding. He even got hit with a chair and a table. That gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? And we get so adamant about it, about that stance that we negate to hear what's real. What's real is that, no, man, that's put together. That's a whole show. So you can be distracted on what's cracking. You can buy them $50 t-shirts, these Saturdays early up in the morning and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I think that's where it's at right now. It's a level of maturity. If we don't sit back and know that what it is, what we're looking at is a game, is a show, then let's change the channel. You know what I'm saying? We have to focus on something different. Regardless of how this election goes, if we all get our way this election, it's still going to be the same shit show. You know what I mean? It's the same situation. So now let's focus up on different situations and play a different game.
I hear you, bro. That's the best analogy I've heard in comparison to this situation. The wrestling, yeah, I just had the whole vision. Then you said Ted DiBiase, man. I just went way back right now. Rock, for you, how do you feel about, because like you say, you're not seeing a lot of this stuff in your social media feed. I don't think, you know what I'm saying, you're not the type to tell me like, yo, I'll be sitting up watching the news, because I'm not the type to be sitting up watching the news. We kind of, research what we talk about in conversation, but like knowing that this stuff is obviously passing you and missing you.
Right.
Like, how do you feel going into this November? Like, are you excited about having an opportunity to have a vote that count? Are you thinking like, nah, I ain't gonna waste my time even thinking that this matters? Like, how do you approach it?
I'm not gonna waste my time thinking that it matters. I'm not saying that don't go out and vote and don't do that. And really, I can't feel like that. So like sitting here having these conversations with y'all opens up my eyes, because I can't feel like that. It's not something I can ignore, but because this is the reality of what's going on around me. But in my world, things still move regardless of what the hell is going on out here.
That's real.
Like that's what they decide over there. Yeah, it's gonna have an effect somewhat in some aspects of my life, but my household, what I do on the daily, all that good stuff, that shit really don't change. I'm still, I'm not gonna stress myself. I've never really been into politics and look into people that I probably have high blood pressure. Because the way I analyze things, I'm thinking, why? I'm not gonna sit there and ask all those questions, because I'm not gonna get answers for that.
It's a cold game. Nito, we're talking about right before you called up, we were talking about TikTok and the ban that's going on. I know you're familiar with TikTok, man. Do you mess with TikTok?
I could barely hear that last part. You said something about TikTok. What is that?
Do you have a TikTok, or do you use TikTok?
You know what? I was real anti-TikTok at first, but I think like we was just speaking a second ago, it's about maturity. Is how you use that tool. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great tool to try to maybe meet and focus and hook up with other people that you don't never really have the opportunity to do on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And see what people are into, and see what's going on with you. It provides a lot of fun. That gets little TikTok challenges and all that. But I just see it as a tool. You know what I mean? As far as the superstition about the people getting in your business, selling information and all. And they've been doing that for years anyway.
Every single website does that. That's the whole point of having a website, is to be able to gather people's information. Man,
right.
What do you think about the fact that Trump is threatening to ban TikTok if they don't sell to an American company?
If they don't sell to what?
There's an American company, it was either Microsoft or Google. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody can correct me if they know something different, that is trying to buy TikTok right now. The American CEO of TikTok said that she wasn't going to allow it to be shut down. But with a transaction happening and Donald Trump from the White House threatening a ban, that puts pressure on the owners of TikTok to feel like they have to sell it, right? That's not how it's supposed to work out the White House.
He bullying them.
I'm just saying, for business purposes.
But see, it's all power, man. It's all money. You know what I'm saying? These are just about influences. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the use of the tool. You know what I mean? What somebody is doing is finding out a way to utilize our presidency. You know what I mean? And they did that. They said, hey man, check this out. If you go ahead and we'll walk this, you know what I'm saying? We'll see for you in the future for this, for that, for the third. Politics is the biggest game out there. You know what I mean? So just try to scare somebody into a ban in this country. That shit, even like we were saying a few minutes ago, all that takes time, man. You know what I mean? And we get, we get confused about the immediate justification of what's happening right now, why we think it should happen. You know what I mean? And why this and why that. But the whole time while we're explaining why, it still happens. You know what I mean? Like, people know about TikTok for years, man. Come on. It's been happening for a minute. This company's been at least 5+ years old, I think, isn't it?
Man, I'm not sure exactly. I know it's been around at least a few years, at least 2 or 3.
I've been listening to it for a couple of years for sure. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because I did some research on it. I do kind of I tell you guys before I do kind of trainings, all different types of trainings, to help with the protection side of my company. And internet, training pretty much is a key. You get trained on all type of websites, what's to look for, stuff like that. TikTok has been around for a minute, man. Believe it or not. So,
well, at this point right now, it just seemed like the wrong thing for our president to be worried about. You know what I'm saying? And then to see the move that it's making, like I say, I know intimidation when I see it, and we know, like I say, that China not only are recording and watching everything we damn do, they're not the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just straight up. So, when I look back at our last election, specifically in the strategies that were used against our country, the propaganda that was used, I'm not talking about from inside our country, because that's going on too. I'm talking about from outside our country. Stuff I've never even thought of, stuff we only see in movies. Right now, we're in a situation where we look like the blumbering fool, man, and who's going to come rescue us? I don't think no election going to save us, but I'm not the one to poo-poo nothing. I'm just trying to figure out where everybody coming from. I saw a great video by Ice Cube, and he just said something that was so real. He was like, yo, this is our opportunity, right? I don't know how to get it done or what to get it done, but I don't want my kids to have to continue to live like this. I don't want my grandkids, my great-grandkids to live in a world like this, and that's how I feel. So I do feel pressed that we need to get something done, but I'm not sitting here feeling pressed that that's the solution. And I think that that's a psychosis right now, was expecting America to correct America by the same means that they have of correction. And what I'm saying is, you can't expect America to do the right thing because they never intended to do the right thing. Right? So the tools and the systems they have to correct themselves are not fit to correct it in the way that we need it corrected. So are we going to continue expecting a different result doing the same thing and be insane and live in this psychosis, this American psychosis? Or are we going to try to figure out a better way to do this, man? I mean, shit, I don't know what the solution is, but I'm saying we got to find one.
I think what right now is we got to relate to that old comment that if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? And I only say that to say this, that there's clearly a method to the madness and a recipe to making a great politician or putting someone in position like a Donald Trump or like anyone of that caliber, even Obama. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that we just don't take the time to make that, to focus on that nurturing process. You know what I mean? It takes them as a community. They've been doing it since the beginning of the time, so since they got here. So it's easy for them. It's just repetition. You know what I'm saying? But have no mistake about it, that if they want to see change and they want to implement some type of new strategy out here, all they do, they take this guy from a seedling, you know what I'm saying, and they cultivate him and keep a camp around this person, an individual guy or girl, and they make sure that they only eat, sleep, and breathe that agenda. So then when they get to that certain point to be able to promote that agenda, they have the necessary support system that they need to make it happen. You feel what I'm saying? And that's all that we need to do. We don't do that as a community. We don't do that as a culture, and we don't do that as a whole, as a whole, just generation as itself.
I tell you honest, I hate to cut you off. I tell you honest, we actually do it. We just do it the same way they do it, right? We support the Democrats,
but we can't though, because if we did it the same way they did it, we'd be just successful. The thing that we're negating to understand is that the way they got it now takes time. It's not going to happen over time. It's not going to happen. We're so focused on instant gratification that we're focused on trying to get it done right away. What's the quickest solution? But that is the solution. It's just going to take time. So what we need to do is focus on the people that we're going to put in that position for that time and really hone on that. You know what I mean?
Okay, so this is
like a fat man. It's like a fat man trying to get into the shape. You know what I mean? Yes, you want to be able to do 100 push-ups a day and be like, man, I'm right now. But you're not going to be chiseled and defined like your personal trainer until it takes time. You know what I mean? You might even feel good, but you're not ready for the reward because you're not seeing everything. You're feeling the results because you're seeing the small little situations, the small gratifications, but you're not actually achieving mass. How you doing, bro? Not really achieving mass results.
Man, I'll be honest. I feel different about the situation, and really, it goes back to that conversation about insanity. So, what I'm caught up at, and where I heard what you said, and that's what really disturbed my spirit. Talking about the long game. The long game dealing with America is not no such thing as the long game because they determine all the terms,
Mhm.
right? When I say they, I'm talking about the structure and the system of America determines the terms. When they didn't want us to vote, we couldn't vote. When they didn't want us to own businesses, we can't own businesses. When we build things to allow ourselves to have better lives and they come in and they destroy it and burn it down and kill people and maim people and all those type of things, there is no retribution. What are we supposed?
That's all part of the long game.
But here's what I'm saying. That's their game. So how are we going to be trying to play their game, trying to fit in, get in where we fit in with them? Why don't we just flip the board and play our own game? What I'm saying is, if we're going to participate in politics, then we got to be like them. I don't want to be like them. If we're going to participate,
that's where we're coming. That's where we're messing up at. It is that we're getting that spoiled child syndrome, where we're saying, hey, we're gonna it's kind of like this when you play a game in school, in elementary school, right? And there's always going to be that one kid that isn't good at that game. And what does he do? I don't want to play this game. I want to play that game. Well, it's not your fault that you're better at Uno than Monopoly, but right now we're all playing Monopoly. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, I wouldn't say that. No, you play NBA 2K.
Yeah.
Okay, Rocky, this might miss you right now.
It
But
probably is.
okay, so I'm gonna give everybody a great analogy. All right, on NBA 2K, we can put the game in and we can play, and it's on regular settings. We all got that homeboy that we go to his house and he's juiced up the settings. So it's not just juiced up so where everybody can make more baskets. It's juiced up so only he can make more baskets. As a matter of fact, he's juiced it up so you're going to turn the ball over more. You're going to have a harder time controlling your players, and it's going to make it real easy for him. So he's going to win 150. You're going to have 20 points. That's how America has lined us up right now.
But you see, the thing is that what you're focused on his game. You're not focused on the game itself, because see, the game itself has limitations, and it has the same. You can do the same thing he does, but he put in the time and the dedication and the situations to make it happen. That's why he got the upgrades on the players, and he got this situation and that situation, because you know what, he might be able to sit in a room 10 hours out of the day when you only get to play after work. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is that the game is still the same. The game still has the same limitations for both players, except it's just what you add into the game and how you utilize the game and the time that you give to the game and what makes you dope and what makes your players succeed. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the best way to explain that situation, because that whole game is set up with its own limitations. It can't go no further than what the designer put on their situation. You feel me?
See,
but now that player, now your homeboy that you go over his house and he's the one with the dope system and just that. Well, he's the one who put that extra $80 on that headset to set up there so he can play heads free. But people all around the world played the extra PlayStation money, played the extra, bought the extra points for the cards to get the special shoes and stuff like that. That has nothing to do with you. That's just all the time the situation that he put into it.
Well, there's no. So, go ahead, Rocky.
I'm listening to both of y'all, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to put both of these things together.
Yeah, speak up, Rocky. I can hear you, Mom. I know you're saying something good.
I said I'm sitting here listening to both of y'all, and I'm trying to figure out how to put it both together, because it both, views on it, perspectives on it makes sense.
But
I hear both of them. But how do we put this together? And I feel
that's our problem that needs a solution, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is you got a lot of people that know that we need a change, but you got a lot of people thinking that we can change it in the system, and you got a lot of people saying we can't change it in the system, and that is a barrier to our moving forward, right? Because if we're gonna continue to do it the way that the game is set up for us, I say we lose it. Nito say that we got a long way to go to get opportunity to win. I'm tired of waiting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they already showing they're not willing to give me a fair shake, how many more times am I gonna ask for a fair shake? If you're saying that it's an even playing field, like you just said that it's like, okay, we playing tetherball and I'm losing. Well, if I built the pole for the tetherball, I did the twine for it, I blew up the ball, put it up there, and then you set up the game to where you're gonna make sure you win and I lose. But I built the game. Come on, bro, I'm not gonna keep playing. No, I'm not.
But you have to. But if this is the only game to be played, which it is,
why is this the only game to be played? Why?
Because there is no other game to be played. Because this is the only game that's being played right now. Because even if we start our own game, the other game is still going. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So this game is what it takes for us to do is, if we can't run fast, if we can't jump high, If we can't do this and do that, we need to train, and we got to outperform the next person so we can be able to do our thing. That's what it takes, because right now we're not playing. If you play basketball, go play basketball. But right now we all are playing football, and that's what we have to understand, because the football game does not end. And once you get tired and the players leave, this football game still continues to go. You know what I mean? There's now, I can see if we were saying, hey, now we don't play football no more. But for a century, since the beginning of time, it's been football. You know what I'm saying? And we have never played basketball. We've never played baseball. We're playing football, and we're staying playing football.
I'm caught
we
up.
Gotta outperform everybody.
I'm caught up in this in a meme right now, and it's something that is, I'm caught up in a meme right now. It's a quote, and I can't think of the person that said it, but the quote basically says that the biggest mistake we all make is saying that we always done it this way. And
is that right?
And
is that we always done it this
way? That we always done it this way. And we have to, like I say, I am not convinced that America is doing things the correct way. And there's a lot of people that can agree with that, just on the simplest terms. What I'm saying is, how do we correct it doing the same thing we've been doing? And if you're telling me that doing the same thing over a longer period of time is going to fix it, that don't work well with my logic and my math.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we already have the antidote. You're asking right now, like, what do we do right now to change what's going on right now and change what's going on for the future? Let's just use a small story like this, right? Everyone knows how much Black America spends on anything, on dollars, just spend dollars, right?
Yeah.
So if we did what we all preach and say that we want to do, which is support Black business, if we did that for 1 year only, not the 400 years we're screaming about, but if we did it 1 year only, just only 1 year, suffered and took some pride in ourselves and said, we're only going to do that, just support those Black businesses. Do you know that how much of a turnaround that happen on that impact that happen on America? Not let alone the world. But we don't do that. And we already know what it did do, what the impact will be. But you know what we do? We give each other Black Tuesdays, Black Fridays. Let's stop it and show everybody what the corporations are going to happen that one day. It don't happen in 1 day.
Right.
Okay, so let me ask this then. So the people that have put in the work, right? The people that have the means to do the things that we need done, to build banks for our people, to build opportunity for our people, that got the money. They're not doing it. But you're asking me to build something that they already got.
They have a Black
bank. Hold on, I'm not saying they don't have a Black-owned bank.
We just don't buy into them.
Yeah, we don't look into it like they're
actually doing it more often.
Who's the richest Black person in America?
Huh?
Who's the richest Black person in America?
Oh, shit, I don't know. I went to do that on what's an event? Was the brother that owns the TV situation? What was his name, man?
You know why we don't know his name?
Why?
Because he don't own no banks, no supermarkets, or no damn schools. Oprah Winfrey don't own no banks, no supermarkets, or no damn schools. Jay-Z got $1 billion off of us, off of Black people spending their damn money with him. He don't own no banks, no schools, and no supermarkets. So that thought of thinking that somebody is going to actually take the money that they get from the community and do the right thing with it, our churches don't even do that shit. So what are we asking? We're asking people to benefit first. But no, what I'm saying is that what you're asking the people to do, they've been doing. They've been spending money with Black people. Black people say money ain't a thing, right? I put up
we don't own Jordans. We don't own Gucci.
Michael Jordan owns Jordans.
But see, okay, they're saying spending money.
We don't spend all our money.
They're saying spending money with spend the money with the Black people. Are we spending our money with the right Black people? Is not that's the question you have to ask. Okay, we're spending.
Who's the right Black person?
That's what we have to figure out.
You know what I'm saying?
The people that are going to do right with the money that they're getting.
I say the right person is the person we get money to. You know what I'm saying? Right? If they got the money, if we know we built these people, we built them. Then why aren't they accountable to us?
Okay, but they're not.
We're not expecting America.
But dwelling on that is not going
accountable to ourselves, though.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just
look
okay.
Look how we treat each other. Look how we treat each other when it comes to Black business, right? One of the first things that we do, and it's a damn shame, but we all laugh and talk about it, but it is shameful. We always look for the Black deal. You know what I mean? And then we don't want to go way over there because it's that side of town. It's hella far. It's whoop-de-whoop. You know what I mean? Like, I can go to Walmart instead of go way over to the west side. Like, you know what I mean? We always try to make an excuse why we don't do and continue to do the situation that we should be doing. You know what I mean? What we have to do, so what if that black man is fucking up that black dollar? He's going to do that right now until somebody puts foot the ass and tell him, hey, man, you need to focus up because we could be doing something else, but we're doing it with you. But instead, we'd be like, nah, I'm cool. I ain't even going to fuck with dude, man. His products be halfway shitty and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Well, that's because the man probably don't have the buying power, but he's trying to stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? But if we stuck with him and stuck it out for a year or two, no telling where that gentleman might be able to take his mind at. You know what I'm saying? We pack more influence than we think, but we just don't give each other the credit for it. And that's where we really fail at too. You know what I'm saying? We don't give the chance to say that, hey, you know, old girl that got these that's selling the barbecue or selling the cakes and stuff. Yeah, they bomb, but her packaging ain't right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Her kitchen ain't big. So, you know, we stop messing with her.
Instead
Let
of
her get
saying
her bread up.
something, like, perfect example, I got one of my little employees, they're selling lashes. Now, everybody sells lashes. She's 19 years old. She's selling lashes. So, I'm going to buy some from you. So, she's like, hey, I'll give you 2 of them for $20. And I was like, what are you selling for? She's like, well, this one's 15 and this one's 20. So why are you selling 2 of them to me for $20? Like, yeah, I understand. I appreciate it, but I'm going to give you 40 and I'm going to take them home. I'm going to look at them. Okay, what the packaging, where you get this from? How much it costs? Okay, you should do something a little bit different, make you pop, make you stand out. Instead of just being like, oh, I'm never going to buy them again from her because the packaging was stupid and it was just a whole bunch of space. And you know what? The end of when I opened it up, the little end was cold. I had to brush it out and complain about the things. Instead of telling her like, okay, well, me personally, I would, put it in something different. Like, this is what you got it in. Put it in something different. You want to stand out, baby? You want to pop? Then now you can say my shit is worth $20 because you getting eyelash glue, the tweezers. It's a little cute little carton, a little note personalized just for you, little sparkles on it. You're gonna remember this packaging, and you're gonna spend with me. And people, they if it was you would put a price on it. Like, we know we sell products, we're gonna put a price on. Why drop it down? Because one, you scared that someone's gonna say that, because that's what happens in our community. They can say, oh, it's not worth $40. Yeah. My time is worth $40. What you mean? You don't know how much time I put into that? You don't know how many times I failed making that thing and I have to do it over, how much money I lost, and drawing the line on it. And people think, they don't think like if it was me. Like, support somebody how you want somebody to support you.
Exactly. But see, that's what I'm going back to, right? So when we do these things, right, and we look out for people, because a lot of times when we're making purchases and we're spending our money, it's not always because of what the product is. Sometimes it is because of who's selling it. Right. But if I look at the history of the black dollar and I look at who and how we have supported people with our money in particular, right? The Selma boycott, when they talked about the bus boycott, we didn't consider the black-owned buses that were boycotted, right? I watched a documentary where there was a family that owned bus lines all the way up into that time. And we didn't say that we wanted to own our own bus lines. We said we wanted to ride fairly on theirs. Same thing in this situation, right? Everybody has the right to spend their money how they decide to spend their money.
Right.
Also, how you make your money, because there's people out there that work very hard for their money. So who am I to tell them how to spend their money? But as a consumer, I spend my money expecting the people that I spend my money with to do something with it. Now, what they do with it, if I don't determine that, that's my issue, right? When I spend money with the dope man, I know what the dope man is doing with my money. When I go to Walmart, I know what the Waltons are doing with my money, right? But when we spend money with each other, we hold each other to a different accountability than we hold those people. Ain't nobody going to the dope man saying, hey, homie, I know I bought one of those rims. Nobody's holding him accountable. Why? Because of the stature that we put him at in the streets. Nobody's holding America accountable for the money that they spend and don't spend. Why? Because we don't even understand where the money goes. So now, as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about where we spend our money, like I say, with the entertainers, the musicians, the clothing designers, and all these people, I know what they're doing with their money. They're saving it for their kids and their grandkids and their great-grandkids. They're building legacy. Where do they get that money from? They got that money from us. So do we hold them accountable? Do we say, hey, you know what, Jay-Z, we know you're building up for Ivy Blue and all them kids, but we could use a bank. We say, Oprah, you know what, we know that you got the magazine and you got the TV show and you know what I'm saying, you got your little food that you're selling out of Walmart, but we could use a supermarket or two. Think about it. If Oprah had a supermarket chain, how many black folks would support it? How many white folks, how many people in general will support it? Because people trust Oprah. Right. But Oprah don't got time for that. Oprah is enterprising for herself. Oprah don't care about the people. Because when you care about the people, you go out of your way for it. I call out the churches again. There is no way in God's green earth, and I can go through the name of all the churches, and I'll start at the top. That's not even a black church, the Roman Catholic Church. If you don't own banks, if you don't own things that allow the people that you deal with to build wealth, you're going to lose. Here in Nevada, here in Las Vegas, if you actually did your research on how these casinos were built and who actually gave them the money for it, you'll understand why there's so many Mormon churches around. You'll understand why they have so much power, right? But when you don't understand who gave these gangsters the opportunity, right? Now, to be morally inept means to know what's right and to do the opposite, right? To have a moral standard and say, okay, I'm not going to do what my personal morals say. I'm going to do what's right for business. That's why I can't get out with America. Because no matter how we say it, no matter how it comes back around, we're always going to go back to doing the American thing. Like Pac said, gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. I'm not taking care of nobody but me. Me first, everybody else is second. That's why we won't get ahead. And that's why this same thing that we're expecting to go put some money into some politician who's going to go up there and speak for the people on our behalf. And in the end, somebody's going to pay them more money. And that's how the game goes. And I'm supposed to just accept that.
See, this is the thing. Everybody minds they have to get right though, because what you're saying, I understand that. I fully understand that'll work. But if everybody mind ain't right, it's not going to work. It's not.
It's not. It can't.
It's not. Because I'm not going what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but it's not. Because you can sit there and say, okay, I want to do this for someone, I want to do this for my community, and they will fuck you over. Then now you ain't got shit, and the community ain't got shit.
Exactly. But then we got to question ourselves. Do we just say don't fuck it? Right? Or do we go out there and put ourselves on the line? Somebody got to put themselves on the line. Some people have to put themselves on the line. Just like Nito said, somebody got to make the sacrifice. And I say, instead of making a sacrifice, continuing to doing it the way we've been trying to do it, the way our elders set us up to do it, why we can't try something different this time? Just one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that kid where, you know what I'm saying, everybody else get to do what they want to do. They want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. They want to go to the park. They want to do all that. And I say, no, how about I get a turn one time? Well, Doodie, we don't do whatever. Well, you don't like to do what everybody like to do. So what? Why we can't do it my way one time? Why we can't do it the right way one time? And if y'all think that's the right way, then please give me an example of that shit working out.
So it goes back to people's interpretation of what's right and what's wrong.
Interpretation, it should not be no interpretation on right and wrong. Come on now. We all are human beings, and we know the difference between survival and we know the difference between living. But I'm saying right and wrong is not something that seems to be so hard. It don't seem so, like when we sitting up here and everybody's bugging out over $600 measly that the government's supposed to be handing out, that everybody should be getting times 10, and then you look up and see all the money that they gave these businesses. Don't even compare it to what the other countries are giving their citizens. Just look at what America gave to businesses. And then somebody tell me again why everybody that's out here that's grinding right now, whether they're essential or not, don't deserve to make sure that they're good during these times. But this is the America we live in, where we got to sit up and fight with each other over crumbs. When we're supposed to be the richest country in the world, we got to sit up and fall under the precepts of what business is supposed to be. When we know business is cutthroat because we live in a capitalistic society where I'm gonna capitalize off of every opportunity I got, even on you. We can't do that. You feel me? We cannot continue that.
There's people that take situations like right now. They take conversations that we're having, like we're having right now, and they roll and they be like, well, because it's been like that, I'm gonna continue just because it ain't gonna stop with just me. It's gonna take more than just me. No, what it is, man, we got to get outside of just me. We have to be the community based. That's the only way we're gonna take it.
Exactly.
And make say something different. It has to be the community based. We got to get it's all still boils back down. If you want to keep dissecting it, every time we dissect it, it still boils down to perception and acceptance. Right. What we've been accepting and what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. We've been accepting some bullshit, and we've been, just like you said, with the crumbs. We've been happy with crumbs, but now we got so satisfied with the crumbs that we forgot about the whole damn cake. And the whole damn cake, we already know how to make the cake, but we don't make the cake because we're satisfied with the crumbs. And those that wasn't satisfied with the crumbs are satisfied with a slice. You know what I mean? Right. Like, none of us are continuing to stay in the kitchen and make this shit happen. We just, we're in a different place all the way around from the 60s and 70s and the 80s. You know what I mean? We don't have those same luxuries of screaming black power in situations no more than try to say that we're disadvantaged from certain aspects.
How not?
Because the thing is that they've clearly the world has clearly decided that we're still continue to be last in any race when it comes to being treated right. You know what I'm saying? I take it like this. I was looking at it last night, and please forgive me if I'm mistaken. I think it was It was Zillow. It was Zillow, and Zillow is a company based out of everybody's familiar with it. It's a worldwide company now, but they're a company that's based out of Seattle, Washington, and it's for motherfucking housing and land and so on and so forth, right?
Mhm.
On the bottom of their website, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm pretty damn sure it was Zillow. They got a whole LGBTQ acceptance and badge and so on and so forth. Like, hey, we're the ones who we take care of you guys more than anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, why they don't have that for blacks, for African Americans or that. And the only reason they do see it right now is because of the Black Lives Matter movement. And I think that's bullshit. Like, it's still, if gender and situations like that aren't supposed to be, and sexual orientation aren't supposed to be outshined by a person's race and so on and so forth, why is all that shit even on the application, on the job application?
It's
What I
business.
mean? These are different situations that we don't just think about on a daily because we're so busy trying to give everybody their right to live and so on and so forth. But it's not showing you the underline and the undertone. It's showing that, hey, we're still trying to figure out how ways to make sure that black people as a whole aren't filling certain positions where they can get ahead at certain times. You know what I mean? Because we got to make sure we take care of everybody else first.
You know why this is happening? Now, I'll give you guys a great little lesson real quick. So the LGBTQ, the reason.
Hey, can you turn up the phone a little bit? Because you guys seem like y'all think more and more. I don't know if the batteries are going low or what.
No doubt. I don't know if you can hear me now, but the reason for the definition of LGBTQ is for law purposes. When you go into the law books and you look at the first time the word Caucasian was used in a court case, right? You look at the first time the word black was used in a court case. So what they're doing is they're putting themselves in a position to be defined by the law, which we have never done for ourselves, but they're doing for their self. Mm-hmm. So I can't poo-poo it because what happens is businesses know that the LGBTQ community spends their money. Mm-hmm. They know that they spend their money with people that make them feel comfortable as well. Mm-hmm. The reason why they don't have to make us feel comfortable is because we spend our money anyway. Because we've shown that the people we spend our money with, we don't have an expectation.
We feel like we're happy to spend our bread.
No, not even that we're happy. We're not happy. We're not happy when we go in Walmart. We're not happy when we go to these places and get rocked.
If you see everybody get their little checks, man, they went crazy with this extra little 600, for that.
You can't really go crazy with 600 though. You feel what I'm saying?
Shouldn't have went crazy with 600, but
I was seeing people go buy cars. I was seeing people go buy gold, jewelry. I'm looking right now, not to be funny, man, but I am sitting there down here on the strip working, obviously, get my quarantine on, but you have to see all of the people that they really would be here doing their thing, but they here balling right now.
You know what? Trust me, I see it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, first of all, wait a minute. This is like your first vacation in about 15 years, and I know why you're here.
Man,
I'm glad for you.
I mean, coming out of the timeshare world, I'll be honest with y'all. People been doing that for years, especially here in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? People come out here and sleep in their car. You know how many people that drive Benzes and go to Motel 6?
But speaking of timeshare and what y'all was talking about.
That's facts.
Speaking of timeshare and what y'all was talking about. I'm sitting here listening to Black Lives Matter and something keeps coming to me. So speaking with a coworker, when they come in the morning, you welcome them. Hey, how you doing? And he is a Caucasian man. And since this Black Lives Matter movement, he's been like sharing little things that are coming to him, and he was like, well, damn, I didn't do nothing. And so he was like one morning, hey, welcome in. Looked him dead in his face, Black Lives Matter. I was like, he was like, I just feel like I didn't do it. Like, I didn't do anything. And I didn't ever take the time to stop and think about how it is on the other end. Like, for this man that you know nothing about, you don't know what his background is. He may be married to a black woman, but you automatically assume because of his.
Hey, that's what it feels like to be black in America, right?
True.
It feels like it's unfair everywhere you go. Then that's by definition, y'all. That's just all I'm trying to explain to y'all. Being black by definition means you got to deal with this shit. You feel what I'm saying? It was a young kid in court the other day. He asked to be tried as a white man. Why does that matter? Because by definition, a white person gets better treatment in America. Period. By law definition, y'all. So, like I say, we can sit up and chop the politics all we want to. We keep before we even know how to spend our money, we gotta know what money is. We keep doing business under their currency right now. We're slaves to what they do, right? Right now, they're talking about everybody's under the conspiracy theory, talking about a one world government and one currency and all that type of stuff. Here's the thing: everybody that went out and spent their money on actual assets. So some of that jewelry, if it was real, right? Some of them cars that maybe lost a little bit of their value, but their assets, right? People that bought land, people that started businesses and things like that, they're actually in a better position than they were before this, right? In the end, our dollar is already being destroyed. It's being destroyed right now by our government. It's being deflated and all that, but we got to wait for that too. We got to wait for the crash. All that being said, unless we understand how the system works, we can't play the game. And that's why I'm saying we can't play this game, because they keep changing the definitions.
Let me ask you, Doodie, let me ask you this. With all that being said, and then the extra, let's say we know that, you know, this isn't going to last forever and so on and so forth, but people are still, like you said, buying assets and shit. But, you know, people have to be to the point where they can be smart enough to know that they're continuing to put themselves into debt. You know what I mean? We have to be able to wake up and say, hey, this because Trump said don't pay your rent and you're going to be okay, you'll have a place to live. Don't mean that you ain't going to have debt when all this shit comes out in the open.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing.
Cool, and then you be sitting outside on Skid Row.
Everything is debt, bro. That's the whole point of the system.
Right.
You feel me? So if we sitting here, real reality, right? Rich folks love debt, right? Real reality is that when you go into the bank to go buy that house, and you take that loan out, they didn't put no cash in there for that loan. They created that money. Everything is based off of debt. That's why we have all the issues that we got now, because everybody's trying to get ahead, not realizing that debt is actually the biggest benefit in the whole system. But once again, if you don't know,
think it's better, so you see it as a good thing.
I'm not saying I see it as a good thing. What I'm saying is, if you understand how debt works, maybe you can consider it in a different way and how it works. But once again, this is understanding, this is education, this is mindset. When you're on the tier that we're on, being told how to move, being told what's going to be successful, being told how it's going to work, but we continue to see the failures. Now, yes, you have to fail to win, but how many times do you fail and continue to try to do it the same way? If I'm shooting the basketball and I keep missing, I'm going to change my technique because I want to make it. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm just saying that the techniques that we're using, the understanding that we have of how this game works is so far gone that even trying to play the game right now, we're going to have to sit back and go through a whole university of understanding of how this shit works. And before we do that in 3 months, in November, when this election is, I'd rather wake everybody up and say, you know what? I feel like Donald Trump. Maybe we don't need no election. Maybe we need to abolish the seat of the president and relook at our Constitution and see how we can actually make our republic better. And
would you go for Kanye?
Here's the thing about it, right? To be honest, it's not even about if I would vote for Kanye. It's about what the Electoral College vote for Kanye, because they determine the president, right? And so since I know that already,
I'm talking about you.
But that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't waste Doodie Outlaw's vote on president on voting for president. I would go in and vote for all of the municipalities. I would go in and vote for all the things in the city and the state that matter, because those are the things that are going to affect my immediate life. On a federal level, as many judges as Donald Trump has put into office already, we're already dead when it comes to legislation, when it comes to understanding that our rights are being infringed on, not from the outside in, not from the police officer that's kneeling on our neck, but from the people that's actually writing the laws based off the definition of what we are.
Oh, no, I'm starving though. So when you're saying that you vote at the government level right here, stateside and all that, do you go, hey, with these politicians that you do vote for though, do you go out and not only pay attention to what they're saying and speaking on, but like do you go out to like their situations, their functions or whatnot?
No, here's the thing, right? Up until
the relationships we develop with these cats, because you know, a lot of people, especially like here in Nevada, people were so gung-ho about T6 like at first. But then all of a sudden, now that he got in there, everybody's like, oh man, fuck Steve Silver, like you can do
I mean, they're not gonna do what everybody wants them to do. They have an obligation to
do their job.
Well,
here's the thing: if it wasn't for Governor Sisolak, I wouldn't even have an opportunity to vote.
Right.
So anything anybody got to say about him, as far as I'm concerned, he's good money with me. Just off of that alone.
I think he did an amazing job.
Just off of that alone, who's out there restoring voting rights to felons? There's only a few states out there that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be honest, man. That's what this is about. When it comes to voter suppression, you got people yelling about voter fraud. The last mailman that I've heard about that was actually changing people's ballots, he was a Republican. You know what I'm saying? When we talking about how systems work, like I say, they can't sit up and tell us that we can't do an election by mail, but we supposed to mail in our IRS, our tax. We supposed to mail in our information and things like that. Like, come on now. Why we can't all just vote online? You know what I'm saying? But in the end, I'm supposed to believe that our country is being ran by people that's smarter than me. I ain't that stupid. And I ain't sitting here, like I say, saying that Doodie got all the solutions. But like I say, man, I'm tired of rolling the dice in this Monopoly game when you the bank and he got all the money and I'm just going around paying everybody and I can't get paid. Nito, look, I know you're trying to get some food up in your system.
It's hard, man. It's hard to hear you guys, so I'm kind of like, it's funny. I got my head down, my eyes closed. It's shit, but I'm in the game. I'm listening.
Don't sweat it, bro. Right now it's 9:29 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we've been running our mouth for a minute. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, get into some music. We'll get into this Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. We'll be back with Doodie, Rocky, and Big Nito on the station that has more fun. 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio.
They've been waiting for. You ready? I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got shorty, she tryna bless me like I said I do. Like a nigga sneeze, nigga please for them tricky squeeze, I'm getting cream. Never let them hoes get in between of what we started. Little nigga, but I'm lying harder. They love it when I was stuck in their head, and when I departed, I go and get it regardless. Draw like I'm an artist, we're crawling, we're straight to walking with foreigns in my garages are foreign bitches menage. Fucking sucking and swallowing anything for $1. They tell me get it, my God. I did it without an album. I did shit with Mariah. Love nigga, I'm on fire. Icy as a hot ring, feeling nigga, I'm flying. When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was lease. Then I bought that new Ferrari, hey, the rest in peace. Hey, the rest in peace to the parking lot. Phantom so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. You ain't talking about my niggas, then what you talking about? Gangsters moving silence, nigga, and I don't talk a lot. I don't say a word, was on my grind and now I got what I deserve. Fuck nigga, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I would have asked tomorrow, y'all thought it was ready. Catching on these niggas on that pop out on the spinach. Double limit, that's my zero. Say the captain, I'm lieutenant. I'm the top can, the big cat, they grind like I'm broke. That Lambo, my new bitch, she ride like my girl. We ride around my city with my hands straight to my toe. Cause these niggas wanna get that, and I gotta make a banger. Cause my mama need that little money, my son needs some else. These niggas try to take my life, they fuck around, get killed. You fuck around, get stuck. Cause these silly niggas, I'm poor women, don't fuck around, no go. No, all I know is murder. When it come to me, I got young niggas that's rolling. I got niggas throwing beats. I done think the beat away. I done think the KLDs. Every time I'm in that bitch, I get the throwing 30 G's. Whenever beat out that drop head, I'm riding down no cap. Big living nigga earn back home, that young nigga be wildin'. We young niggas be mobbing. Like Batman and Wood Robbie. Miss Two going make back with my seat on the reclining. I'm like, real nigga, what up? Real nigga, what up? If you ain't about that murder game, then pussy nigga, shut up. If you get me in your ass, I get your pussy ass up. When you touch that in my hood, no, that tour life ain't good. Cause you got it in my head. And then he getting on wood. Put that put my life in my feet. Like that little nigga I could. Boy, I slide down in your block. Back on 12 o'clock. And they be throwing deuces on the same nigga they rock me. I'm the king of my city, cause I'm still calling them shots. When these niggas talking that bullshit, the same niggas that fly. I'm the same nigga from Earth. Them that break that lock. The same nigga that came up and I had to rock. And these niggas hating on me. I was waiting on me. Still on that hood shit. My Rolls Royce so easy. Don't remember me. I said remember me. So much money that you freak on you and me. And This be my turn, my enemies, the number 3. When them bricks like over 40, ain't no telling me. Hold up, broke nigga turn rich. Wanna get it like me. And if I leave, they know pretty hoes gon' still suck my dick. There's something about that rollie when it first touched my wrist. Had me feeling like that dope boy when he first touched that brick. I got it.
Monogamy or whatever you call it, I'm starting to think ain't for everybody. Most of us is rushing into it anyway, you know what I'm saying? You ain't rushing for love and I ain't out here to judge, so let's neglect the what ifs and we can do it again.
Is it bad that I never made love? I never did. But it's in my heart, I feel bad. I couldn't see. I can't promise that I'll be good to you. 'Cause I had my shoes. I want to miss. Not having it, but at least I get it mixed. Yeah, I'll be good in bed, but I'll be bad to you. I never made love, I never made. Wanna show my heart.
Bad girls ain't no good, and the good girls ain't no fun. And the hood girls want a smart nigga. College girls all want a thug, so it seems that we speak what we don't need. Gotta pay for a queen who don't wanna leave. I ain't about to judge you, but don't judge me. You ain't gotta really sing about your rap shit, 'cause I heard you. Yeah, in the literal sense, I mean that. Sex ain't I love ya, but the kiss of the saying you mean that. I know, I just be calling them mean ass. Or the irony, and the bomb D, but the problem is probably a deep pass. Still I'm feeling this something I need bad. Picking up, I get it, to need this. I don't need emotion to open your deep sea. I can see the ocean by going between leg, bag, no, bed, blow, go, forward, couch, now, slow, motion, around, put it down, Lord knows she's going for the moon, hold up.
I never made love, I never did. But it's in my heart, I feel bad. I couldn't see. I can't promise that I'll be good to you. 'Cause I had my shoes. I want to miss. Not having it, but at least I get it mixed. I'm to you. Yeah, I'll be good in bed, but I'll be bad to you.
She hurt feelings, she break hearts, she stay quiet, she play smart, she take pride. We're going out, we're getting holiday. We're saying nah, she's no saint, but she no pose. She don't wear makeup by the bolo. Ride through the show with the conception. Take much, it slows up. She got haters, but we all do. Heard you when the time comes, shawty fought through. Baby, look at that approach, how they going to. All of my games, I'm mine, cause they all low. In the physical sense, I mean that. I ain't trying to kiss up, suck up, any gas. I ain't like you sucking your teeth fat. Nope. Hey, babe, trust me, I humble your mean ass. Look, shawty is actually a brave man. Cause the one that is working with these crap. Yep, bed, floor, couch, more, shower, Lord, perm, love, nah. Call in the more cell number, what's on, goddamn.
Is it bad that I never made love? I never did. But it's in my heart, I feel bad. I couldn't see. I can't promise that I'll be good to you. 'Cause I had my shoes. I want to miss. Not having it, but at least I get it mixed. I'm to you. Yeah, I'll be good in bed, but I'll be bad to you. I never made love, I never did. But it's on my heart.
Kevin Gates, I'm everybody's sworn favorite. Till I feel I'm Michael Jackson, reincarnated. Satellite, she gon' get it right. Emotions, she would say, keep her get it right. Satellite, never really made love.
Just on the field, look at Bryce selling kilos. Got a shot by the sound and got a spot just around the way. Let's be specific. If I'm the nigga you feeling, am I wrong for showing interest in these women surrounded? I'm breaking the sound and purple. No time to lounge. We always on the grind all the time. God and this strictly me my signal. Can you keep up with my ego? Someone say like this, I can't with which one's love is a casino. Everybody just waiting on me. Think I'm the end of getting going in the Baby, open this door, let it hit. It's all leading, baby, me so can't be it. Still be my friend. When I'm lonely, love, get them gone, cause you know I'm on the phone. But others, someone who's home when it's real, someone who's ain't no way to die. Promise everything, she gon' get it right. Emotions, she gon' say like but I was crazy, give her good never really made love. Never really made love. People changing on me, I am so sick of the masquerade. Core poor, and no dishes, ain't no paper plates. I'm taking aim, brought up in this life. I know, baby, I'm a writer, and I love you. I'm big just gotta listen. Minus the time and the time and the best. What it was first time that you know she can't get upset. Never like it.
We back at it, man. It's your boy Doodie Outlaw. I'm here with Rocky and Big Nito, and you're plugged in on 22.3. Take Over Vegas Radio. Plugged in is powered by Copacetic Designs. We appreciate everybody, man, that's plugged in with us. Nito, you there, champ?
Yeah, man, I'm still here.
Yes, sir, man. So, man, we know you've been on the grind, brother. We know, you know what I'm saying, you've been doing your thing. I know Rocky been working her ass off, you know what I'm saying? I've been grinding as well. To wrap everything up, I really believe in my heart that, you know, like I say, like we talk about all the time, that we're all in a similar place, just trying to figure out some solutions. At the same time, you know, trying to figure out how to bring it all together is what it's about, man. Nito, what do you think is the key to us coming all together, man, and creating a solution heading into this election and during this time of the year?
Man, we all have to first and foremost remember that there's more than one piece to the puzzle in order for us to see the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to get the clear picture on what's going on, we got to understand my piece can fit into your piece, and that fit into Rocky's piece and everybody else's piece, and then they can all come to play. You know what I mean? Now, just because they look feel similar and familiar doesn't mean that they all the time go. You know what I mean? However, I hope you guys can hear me. I'm sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on. But that's the key. That's the key, is remembering that it's just not one piece to the puzzle that's making it all happen. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So if we get past just one person's business and let everybody know that, you know, it's the big picture, and that you know, in order for us to get to this big picture, there's many pieces to the puzzle. We all have to get our own pieces and find out where they fit. You know what I mean? Then we can play our position and do what we do to make it work. But it's bigger than us. It's bigger than the one person. It's going to take all of us as a community, not just one person.
No doubt. Rocky, I see you've been sitting here trying to piece all this together and figuring out
these pieces,
you know what I'm saying? In your mind, you know, what do you think is the determining factor on what's going to bring us together?
Understanding. That's it. You know, I sit here like I told you guys before. I sit here like the little sister of the group, and I do at times just take in the things that you're speaking. You guys both have valid points, and you know, you guys are able to think outside the box. And like Nito said, bringing those pieces together, figuring out where you can make this change and what role you can play and what steps you can take to make a difference. To me, it just stems from understanding. You know, the community needs to be on one accord somewhat. Not everyone's going to see eye to eye all the time, but understanding makes it smoother.
Yes.
Understanding what's going on around us, understanding that there is an issue and what the issue is, and pinpointing it. It's not each other. It's not us.
Yeah.
It's not this over here. This is what it is, and how do we address and fix it? Just coming together and understanding. That's the key to it. You have to be able to understand what's going on. If you don't ask questions, so you can gain understanding, do research, so you do understand these things. You know, you can take what's being said around you and dissect through it and figure out what is relevant to you and how it's going to apply to what movement you make.
Yes.
And where you stand on this, and then move forward from there.
Man, that's as real as it gets. Not even hearing you say that, you know, knowing that you know, like I said, we're not going to always agree, but we do have to agree to come together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even knowing that, you know, and I say this a lot, you know, Doodie know he ain't always right.
Mm-hmm.
But I press the line knowing that a lot of the answers that we think we have are just kind of the comfortable things that, you know, seem to be the right answer.
Right.
When, you know, my dad had a saying, and this is something he got from his brother, my Uncle Willie. He said, Doodie, usually you got an issue or a problem, and the answer is usually right in your face. And I'm looking at my own self, and I'm measuring how I feel, and I'm measuring the anxiety, and I'm measuring the thought process of being American, and it's bothersome to me. It's becoming a burden to me. And it's not a burden just because of what's going on right now, but it's been a burden. But recognizing where our deliverance has to come is really what is driving me right now, is understanding that they're not going to free us. We got to free ourselves. And I know that I ain't trying to save nobody. I really need people to save themselves. But being an example sometimes ain't enough. Like I said, somebody got to be the sacrifice. Somebody got to be willing to stand up and say the stuff that is very uncomfortable, and we got to deal with it. So, you know, big shout out to you guys for always being willing to have these talks. Big shout out to my guy Nito, who's in traffic, on the grind, you know what I'm saying, putting in work, but made time for us today, man. It's not something that we take lightly, man. We really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you making the time for us today, man. It's really important.
I appreciate it. It just goes to, like you were just saying, I know you said that, you know, we got to start focusing on us, but, you know, it's like, I can't focus on you without focusing. I can't focus on me without focusing on you, because you are your mind. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
In the dark, we're the same. You know what I'm saying?
Man, our community matters.
So that's one of the, you know, some of the things that kind of like what Rocky was used to talking about. We just can't be afraid to learn. You know what I mean? We have to be afraid. We got to get out of thinking it's just one way, one track mind. We got to be able to learn and listen, and learn to listen, and then we'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? That's just the first step. It's baby steps. You know what I mean? But I can't do me without you, because that's not the community that we believe in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when I'm doing me and I'm trying to perfect me as a person and trying to be selfish about me and make sure that I take care of me and mine, I continue to think about y'all as me and mine, because that's the only way we're gonna survive. You dig what I'm saying?
No doubt. It's definitely overdone. Rocky, tomorrow's your day. Take Over Thursday. Rocky Relates on 22.3 Take Over Vegas Radio, sponsored by Crystal Clear Marketing. I would ask you what you got cooking, man, but you never want to.
I was gonna be, you know what? I was gonna tell you this time.
You so full of shit. Rocky, what we got popping tomorrow?
Okay. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Tomorrow, and I know it's gonna Nito. If you could call in, you know, give a little thing, because this is something that I am positive that you guys do on the daily basis. But I want to talk about normalizing being direct in conversation, communication with people.
Ooh, see, you're gonna start some shit.
Normalizing being direct when you communicate with people. That is, okay. You know. I see you gonna get me started now. Wait a minute, hold on.
Wow.
I have.
I can't wait for tomorrow.
I have to talk about this. I just have to, You know, you can throw some stuff in there. You know, just it's the world we live in, the society we live in. Everybody wants shit sugar coated. Everybody want to serve sweet, and sometimes it's not, baby. It's bitter, and they need it the way it is.
Well,
No, we're not gonna try to redo this, repaint this. We're not gonna add a little bit more. No, this is how it is, and this is how you're gonna take it, and that's it.
tell it like it is.
So I just have to, you know, a few things I gotta say about that.
Preach, preacher.
Boy, it's so big because we're Doodie over there singing. I can't even hear everything he's saying, but Doodie rap. He over there preaching, so you know it's gonna be dope.
Bruh, I tell you 100, man. I'm always, you know, like I said, looking forward to the midweek and the end of the week because, you know what I'm saying, it allows me to, you know, absorb more than just, you know, what I got going on. But man, it is definitely time to start calling out them people that's beating around the bush, Rock. It's definitely time to call out them folks that's more affected by how you say it than what you said. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm definitely looking forward to, you know, what you want to talk about mañana. All that being said, we got 2 more days left in our week. Everybody that knows us knows Plugged In with Doodie Outlaw is on Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, wherever you're listening at in the world. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that's tuning in on 22.3 TakeoverVegasRadio.com, on the 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio app, on Up Live, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. What's the other one, Rocky?
Live Me
on Apple Music, MyTuner, MixLR, Stream Finder, Nobex, TuneIn, all the streaming platforms. We really do appreciate you guys, and we are thankful for technology today. Technology is what allows us to be able to project ourselves all over the world. Technology is what's allowing Big Nito to be here with us, even though he can't physically be here with us. And technology is what's going to allow us to make sure we connect with you guys tomorrow, man. So please make sure you plugged in with us bright and early tomorrow for Takeover Thursday and Rocky Relates here on 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio, the station that has more fun. Big Nito, man, I'm going to let you say what's up to the people and goodbye to the people, man, before we get up out of here.
Yeah, man, it's definitely been a pleasure and a treasure, man. I love all of y'all and y'all own special ass way and all the same way, I'm saying, man. So, like I said, man, peace and love to everybody that's out there listening and keeping us on your dial and in your life and, man, in your prayers, definitely. So, continue to keep everybody I know and you know in prayers. And, man, I love y'all. I'm up out of here. I got to get right back on the plantation, boss.
Yes, sir. Love you too, champion, man. Be good, man, and be safe.
All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all be easy, man.
Rocky, what you gonna tell the people, man, before we get up out of here?
I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna talk tomorrow. I appreciate the talk we had today, but tomorrow we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
And
me and Doodie gonna talk. Y'all call in, y'all can talk to us, but
yes,
me and Doodie gonna talk.
Please call in. Please call in, all you sensitive folks and all you direct folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna actually speaking of my mother, my beautiful mother, the evangelist, you know, she grew up in a household with a lot of screamers. You know, my uncle Carl, shout out to Uncle CJ, man, he is a yeller. Like, he just yells. And so my mom, you know, being the youngest, had to learn how to, you know, make her voice loud to be heard. So my whole life, my mom has been a screamer. But it's not how she says it, it's what she says. And so I'm a little insensitive to people's demeanor sometimes. And it's not because the delivery doesn't matter, you guys. It's only because the only information that matters to Doodie is what you're saying, not how you're saying it. So shout out to my mom for training me in that way, but also please bear with me, folks. If you ever feel that Doodie is being dismissive of your emotions, because it's not that I'm being dismissive, it's just that it's more important to get to understanding what you're saying.
And mean what you say, because you said that being dismissive, me out. If somebody gets a holler and I ain't seen them before, I kind of like it. So because my mom's a screamer too. So they get to holler, oh, good. Okay, say it again. Say it one more time because they ain't hear you.
I'm just saying.
I get excited. So it's a different thing for me to scream. You know,
well, even before I got to ask you this now. What do you think about cursing? Right? Because a lot of people are offended by curse words. Whereas me personally, I use them very strategically to make points. So, like, where do you stand in all of that etiquette when it comes to curse words? Like, do you use them? Do you encourage other people to use them? Do you not like it when they're faced at you? Like, you know when somebody's cussing at you and cussing, you know, just in general, right? But, like, how do you feel about it in your personal communication?
See, me, I feel comfortable cussing. It just makes the communication better, understanding. That's me personally. Now that you said that, I got to think about it.
Okay.
It just.
Think about it. We'll talk about it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we'll talk about it tomorrow. I gotta think about that.
No, I've been measuring myself when it comes to that, right? First and foremost, I grew up reading dictionaries and encyclopedias, so using words are very important to me. But I learned the importance of cuss words very early, and I've been a professional cusser probably since the 2nd grade.
It's like a punctuation mark.
No, it definitely gets your point across, and certain curse words are, different. And my father was one of those curses. Everybody mad at me because I'm the type of walk around like shit, and I you know what I'm saying. And what's wrong? Nothing's really wrong. It's just something that I, just like
exclamation point.
Yeah, just an exclamation point. Just reminding myself. But shout out to my pops, man, rest in peace. Shout out to all those out there that have better words to use than curse words, and shout out to everybody that's praying for me and my tongue, because you know what I'm saying, I don't always apologize for it, but I promise you I am thinking about it when I do it, man. I'm your boy Doodie Outlaw, and we make no excuse for the things that we have. Why? Because the things that we have, God has provided, and we are thankful. I'm so thankful that you guys have been with us today. Thankful for my good friend Rocky. Thankful for my guy Big Nito. Thankful for my girl J Fam for being here with us as well. Please check out Copacetic Designs on all social platforms, and check out our Etsy shop. Check out the Rocky Relates gear, the Gravity Click gear, our Join the Movement gear, as well as our Troubadour Entertainment and Plugged In with Doodie Outlaw gear. It is always a pleasure to be here with you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out. It took all that was in out the screen.
Lord have mercy. Lord have
City living got me wishing I was closer to God. Don't go to church like this, trying to get preachers aside. Bullets coiled in my gun's chamber. Don't touch my heart, we head first. The devil in the place. Ain't worth living. I just walk away, hope I don't die here pushing. My only ambition is to seek the righteous path. If only contrition is going to stick God's wrath. I thought of my knees, Father God, please forgive us. So many hearts are cold and dark, I hope they hear us. People chosen, people of God is why they fear us. The devil is a lie, there's only all day, all night, the angels watching over me. I'm right, my gun on my right, 3 crosses on my neck. Left side, all day, all night, the angels watching over me. I'm right, my gun on my right, 3 crosses on my neck. Left side, don't ask me who I believe. You put your faith in God, I love some demons. Scheming to find a way to get beaten of what you're feeling. The only question is who's breaking the game. See what I feel is not for the end. It's getting hot. I don't know hope for everybody won't die. Really, we ain't got shit all I know is good. Spent on material things. So many shootings and other blessings for stupid things that happen to work. Our souls are not looking for true things. Finding right from day to day, bringing doors to regulate. Our children have lots of destruction. Ain't our lives working on ties to hide the fact our lives have been changed. They want our bodies and chains to say I'm the same, but I got demons that I can't shake loose. My man lives right past every one back on the ledges. All day, all night, the angels watching over me. I'm right, my gun on my right, 3 crosses on my neck. Left side, all day, all night, the angels watching over me. I'm right, my gun on my right, 3 crosses on my neck. Left side, Mama on her knees every day, I know she prayed for me. Devil on the grind every way, I know he prayed for me. Haters everywhere, so you know my gun stay with me. Try to free my mind, but how real is he taking me? Shitting me, seeing all my brothers living make me leave so fake. Don't wanna face the real every week to be slaves to a game. Nobody wanna fight to live to be. Live to be free, or I'ma die like the Kennedys. Tell it like it is, cause you too dumb for riddles. Who really has your back when you're standing in the middle? Face for the war, but we don't even have an army. All said and done, I don't plan to say I'm sorry. Trouble try to harm me, but I'm too resilient. Truth is a weapon, can shoot you really feel. It's the real, I never said it in the thriller. Give it to you raw, no sugar, no fillers. All day, all night, the angels watching over me. I'm right, my gun on my right, 3 crosses on my neck. Left side, all day, all night, the angels watching over me. I'm right, my gun on my right, 3 crosses on my neck. Left side,